Where does Michigan turn now that it appears a couple of their top ranked targets have appear to be off the board? That is the topic today. Hit the subscribe button. We appreciate you joining us. It's free to subscribe, and subscribing will help us keep this podcast free. So we'd appreciate you joining us. Give us a like, give us a share as well. And thanks to the folks at Big Fork Brands. Get 20% off by using our link, which is pinned below in the comments. Well, as you know by now, Kalen DeBoer, Alabama, great comeback win against Oklahoma. Appears that he is off the board for Michigan because to even have a chance to speak with him, you'd have to wait until the game against Indiana, and then you even don't know for certain. Now, the timeline. A couple of things to keep in mind. They want to get this done by the first of the year. So that basically takes us this week. It's not out of the question that they could wait until next weekend and still get a deal done if they felt like they had something to wait for, and I'm talking about DeBoer. But again, I don't think he's likely going to take the job, and I know that he is not going to even really sit down and tell them no face-to-face until after Alabama season is over, and we don't know yet when that's going to be. They were very excited about DeBoer, but they're we're also excited about Kenny Dillingham. They ratcheted up the talks with his representative, but he's decided to stay with Arizona State. He's got a new deal there, more money for his assistants, NIL. So those are two guys that appear off the board. Now, I say appear because I do think that depending on if they are in total agreement, and right now, I think the only person that they were coalescing around was DeBoer, and I think the second one was Dillingham. I don't think they are as excited or as unified, I should say, about the next tier of guys that they have on their list. So do they want to unearth somebody that they have researched? And I think they have researched, and speaking with them, a number of folks, NFL, college, and I think that they're in the position right now where they could wait a little longer to speak to DeBoer or go and hire somebody like Jedd Fisch of Washington or Eli Drinkwitz of Missouri, both of whom would take the job. I would suspect that you're going to hear one or both of them get a new deal at Washington or some type of announcement with regard to that once they find out that they're not going to get the job. That's kind of how this stuff works. But where does Michigan go if they don't get one of those two or opt to not go for one of those two? Well, I think that Kyle Whittingham is somebody that they've talked about. Could they convince him, even though he's decided to retire as a head coach at Utah? He's 64 years old, never been to the playoffs. Would he consider doing it? I don't get the sense that he would. So where does that leave him? It leaves him with the two options that I mentioned that I think would take the job. I don't think that there's, at this point, anybody that they feel comfortable with, and I don't feel they're comfortable waiting on DeBoer. I do want to mention this, that if you see a coach not being hired within the next 48 hours, I think that means somebody else is emerging, or they're going to wait just a little bit longer. Maybe they're given a reason to wait a little bit longer on DeBoer. Because right now, I think it's pretty clear that the two guys that were at the top of their list appear off the board, and two guys that I think would take the job, but I'm not sure that everyone in the Michigan administration is on the same page with going forward with either Jedd Fisch or Eli Drinkwitz. We'll keep you up to date on all the latest right here. Also, we'll keep you up to date on everything going on around on the world of college football and the NFL. So appreciate you joining us. Again, hit that subscribe button. Help keep this free. And thanks a bunch to the folks at Big Fork Brands. They bring a solid bacon, sausage, paleo pork jerky, Chicago-style sauces to your table. enjoy the rich, smoky flavors made with sustainable ingredients and chef-crafted care. Use our link to receive 20% off the product right below. Appreciate you joining us. Check us out next time. Talk to you again next time, everybody.